Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is Star Wars The Black Series Han Solo and Tauntaun in 4 minutes or less. Han Solo stands around 6¼ inches tall, which is weird when you consider that Han Solo from Wave 2 was only 6 inches tall. Something happened on the way to Hoth that has Han standing a little bit taller. Not a huge issue since those two figures won't be appearing in any of your scenes together, but it does diminish the impact of Chewbacca's height ever so slightly when recreating their conversations on Hoth in your photo booth. Han's articulation is standard for the Black Series, which means we're only getting single-jointed elbows and a thigh swivel, but no calf swivel. He has a rotating and pivoting neck, but the range of movement is limited by the rubbery removable hood and scarf combo. He's got the same pivoting and rotating hips, but those two are limited by the rubbery skirt of the overcoat. This, combined with the straps of his holster, can make it difficult getting him to stay seated on the Tauntaun. The Tauntaun is around 10 inches tall depending on how it's posed, and about 12 inches long from head to tail. It has a rotating head that can pivot up and down, shoulder pivots for her little T-Rex arms, pivoting hips and swivel ankles that also have a bit of up and down pivot. It's a mostly hollow piece of plastic, so there's not much weight to it, and that leaves it with an unstable, higher center of gravity. You have to be careful about how you angle the feet for it to balance, but the presentation is nice when you get it set up just right. That said, you won't be able to get it balanced in any running poses due to the lack of articulation in the legs. There's a lot of little interesting details on both Han and the Tauntaun. Han has a new Empire Strikes Back accurate belt and gun and comes packed with his macro binoculars. The Tauntaun has a variety of rivets, buckles, and saddle gear that all look great and have some painted accents. You can even peg Han's feet into the stirrups with a little patience and tiny fingers. But the attention paid to those details amplifies the places where Hasbro cut some corners. There is no paint detailing in the Tauntaun's fur, on her claws, or on the seat of the saddle. There are a lot of places that a light paint wash could have done a lot to add to the feeling of wear, of the everyday usage that defined the visual aesthetic of the original Star Wars trilogy. Han Solo's gun from Wave 2 had some paint detailing that made it look used. This blaster does not, and it's disappointing that Hasbro's moved away from that standard of craftsmanship so quickly in the life of the line. And once again, we have a non-helmeted, non-alien character whose likeness as a sculpt is close to passable, but falls apart once minimal paint treatment is applied. This is the kind of facial paint treatment I would expect to see on a 3¾ inch figure, but not on a 6-inch figure. While not as bad as Slave Leia or Bespin Luke, this Han Solo face makes it hard to imagine him telling a deck officer that'll see him in hell. The Tauntaun face, on the other hand, shows extreme intelligence, even problem-solving intelligence. When you look at her, you can see she's working things out. Vehicles and animals are something I never thought we'd actually see in the Black Series line, given the scale of the figures. It always struck me as odd that they did Luke X-Wing in Wave 1 when it seems highly unlikely that we were ever going to get a scale X-Wing. To have offered collectors a Jabba the Hutt, a speeder bike, a Tauntaun, and later this year a Wampa is pretty cool, and I look forward to seeing what other non-character elements from the Star Wars universe Hasbro can incorporate. Is it foolish to think we could get a dewback? Maybe a land speeder? If you're not into the 6-inch scale, or think that the $40 to $50 price tag is a little steep for figures that you're going to have to finish painting anyway, then this is an easy pass. If you're already a Black Series collector, then this is a must-have, so if you see it, buy it. And if you see two, leave one for the next collector.